What do you want to do? The double, Gomorrah, the boy in striped pants?
Well, we got to do them all.
Oh,
sassy.
He's a machine.
but seriously, folks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Netflix Explorers podcast, the podcast where we sit down and diagnose these movies so you don't have to, from the 1890 studios. My name is Dale.
Coming to you live from Roma. It is me, Adam. Thank you for the Italian.
And my name's Patrick, trying to get this out as fast as possible so we can start the cast.
You know, I like Papa Steve, but I'm thinking about the Podfather.
Today we're going over Gomorrah, the double, and the boy in striped pajamas. We'd appreciate you guys. Please stick around. We got a packed studio again today, gentlemen. Papa Steve on the mic.
Hey, everybody. Steve here. Glad to be here. Good to see everybody in the studio audience. Want to say, hey, lady, take it easy. Say hey to everybody on the live feed. What's going on? Okay.
Oh, wow. Not a good response.
They can't
from the
talk
live
back.
Oh, they're typing crickets, apparently?
I don't know.
We got to get the mods.
Control C, Control C,
All
Control
right,
C.
okay. Control Z, more like it. Okay.
Control crickets?
Yeah. Adam, good to see you, bro.
Hello. Sorry.
Radio.
Hey, what's going on?
You got the megaphone in hand, and we're happy to have you sitting across from me, as always, at the 1890s.
Indeed. I'm glad to be here. You know, we were just talking about Gomorrah, Italian film, so.
Oh, you're dipping into your Italian. That's your native tongue.
It is my native tongue, so I often default to it.
Pardon.
Arrivederci.
Indeed.
Yes.
Patrick sitting next to you, per usual. Patrick, welcome to the cast, bro.
Dude, you pumped?
I'm just pumped you're here.
Oh, well, I'm pumped you're here.
I'm pumped we're all sitting here together.
Everybody's going to pump each other.
We got Papa Steve on the mic. He was here last week. It's a magical time to have Papa Steve back on. We got Gomorrah. Oh, actually, let's stop before we get crazy. Papa Steve was the docket master.
You know,
now, Adam,
easy now.
You're usually the docket master. You handed it off to Patrick last week, but I want you to really get in Papa Steve's head to figure out why he picked these and kind of what his angle was and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave that up to you as the master, Papa Steve as a novice. We got a couple good ones lined up.
Well, we'll see. The podcast will tell.
That's true. That's true. First one up I got is Gomorrah. Before I read the description, I'm going to pass it over to Papa Steve. Why did you pick this 2008 film, 7.0 IMDb crime drama, 137-minute film?
Yeah, 2 hours, 17 minutes. Holy crap.
That's why I'm asking, because it's pretty ridiculous.
Well, I really didn't look at the time of the movies when I was looking at them.
First mistake.
Ooh.
Well, I know. I haven't read the book yet. Hello, it's not been published.
Available for pre-order.
But the ones that I chose, I thought were all great movies, except for one. I just kind of threw that in there. It's a long story.
Okay.
But Gomorrah and Striped Pajamas had got high ratings, so I thought, you know what? I'm in a high-class group. We have a high-class audience. Let's talk about some high-class movies.
Right. I mean, 7.0 IMDb, that's a pretty stellar, review.
Yes.
Gomorrah is a contemporary Neapolitan.
Mm-hmm.
Neapolitan.
I thought that was an ice cream.
It's from Napoli.
Oh, okay. Mob drama that exposes Italy's criminal underbelly by telling 5 stories of individuals who think they can make their own compact with Gomorrah.
I just got the ice cream joke. Well played.
Gomorrah, the area's mafia. So this one's all in Italian. Can we play this one, Adam?
Sure. I'll translate.
You can play it, but
all right, coming in hot.
Martin Scorsese film.
That stands for Martin Scorsese. I'm the best. I'm the number one. The world is ours. I'm Tony Montana. Oh, they have a little Scarface reference in here for these guys. IFC Films. In 2006, a book of organized crime in Naples shocked the world, and author Robert Zameville has been living under police protection.
You do know Italian.
You're fluent. I didn't know
This is
that.
my native tongue. 5-0. Yeah, well, you gotta do that part.
Naples, one of the oldest cities in Italy.
Was that
There's
me
a
talking?
war
Hello.
raging in the streets.
Waiting in the streets.
Friends, enemies. Remember when we were brothers? Now we're
Because
enemies.
one organization,
Oh, no.
the Gomorrah, has corrupted all levels of society.
We solve problems created by others. We consider ourselves the problem solvers, eh? Yeah, we don't cut corners. We protect the people. Mamma mia. No? Yes. We.
Wait a minute.
He's safe.
No one is safe.
They all have to die. Can I get the massage?
Why don't you get the message?
Now you're a man.
Now you're a man. Now you ate the pepperoni pizza for real. Now you can truly be a man.
To the oldest man, knows they control everything.
They
They control everything.
I got a feeling
Down
you're
to
not
the
taking
last
this
to
movie
beat the ball.
seriously.
This guy's stealing my voice.
This time, it's for real.
I'm going to make him an offer I can't refuse.
Furious and brilliant. Stunning,
Stunning.
says somebody.
Shooting,
Greatest mafia
they're shooting
movie of
pistols
all
in short shorts
time.
and tank tops. Very Euro.
Extremely Euro.
That guy shot an AK-47 in a Speedo. Very Euro.
Gomorrah.
Not to be confused with gonorrhea, which is a completely
Gonorrhea.
different documentary.
This time, it's for real.
Guys, Gomorrah. We got to talk about this one. I did a 50% Rob on this one. I will get this out in front, but let's start with Papa Steve. What did you think of this one, man? IMDb 7.0. What's going on?
Well, first of all, way too long. It was way too long. At first, I didn't think I could get through it, but it was grimy and gritty. The ending was worth it. I don't know if you guys muscled through to the end, but I thought the ending was worth it. The thing that I got out of it was that, well, first of all, there was like 5 different stories going on, and I really didn't get a lot of connection until the very end. Grand Prize Cannes Film Festival. The thing that I thought was interesting about it was, when you watch The Godfather or some of these other Italian mob movies, it's kind of romantic. There was nothing romantic about this. It just showed It was just nasty, gritty, people getting killed. It was brutal.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. Again, I watched maybe 60% of this one, but it was just a drawn-out, dirty tale. Patrick, what do you think?
Yeah, so when I was doing the research for this movie, I was looking into like that, not a burrow, but whatever that structure was that they were living in. There's a name for it, and I can't remember exactly what it is.
That
but
apartment complex thing?
Yeah, so...
Apartamento.
Oh, yeah.
There
The
you go.
apartamento.
Thank you for
was,
translating, Adam.
No problem.
Nice work.
It's very weird because it's kind of like a base level that goes up maybe 5 floors. Then it cuts in kind of like a pyramid, and then it almost makes a shift into like a shark fin almost, because there's like a definite like penthouse to it. But I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool structure. So I started Googling it a little bit more. But it turns out it's like the crappiest designed, worst place to live in all of Italy. And so...
It's a ziggurat.
Wow.
Is that what it's called?
No, I have no idea what the ziggurat is, but I know that's a
That's
a term.
If you had me sold.
Ziggurat's like the Washington Memorial.
Yeah.
So it really has nothing to do with the ziggurat, but that's a very good word.
Right.
It is.
I like
It's
where
got
your
a
head's
Z,
at.
Double G. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess it's like the worst place in Italy to live. And then on top of that, the guy that directed this movie lived in there
Right.
for 2 months
And
to
that-
get a feel for it.
That's something I wanted to touch on too, because just searching through IMDb and the trivia and stuff like that, director took some serious heat for like going
making it. Yeah.
He went deep. He like infiltrated the Italian mafia. and got on like the ground level of how this organization worked, and that's how he came up with the idea for the movie. So he's he put his neck on the line to create something like this. So you got to give him a little credit. Okay, I didn't watch it all, so I didn't give him all the credit. But I don't know, Patrick.
Lucky for you, I watched a good portion of it. And
I watched it all.
I feel like he kind of...
you're the docket master. You should have watched it all.
No.
I feel like he kind of wasted his time with it because this movie had me asleep at 40 minutes. I woke up another 10 minutes later and watched the rest of it. And I was like, wow, this was really disappointing for me because I didn't feel like the ending was just...
Well, you missed the key 10 minutes.
Sure.
I don't think I missed the key 10 minutes.
You didn't.
Arrivederci.
Yeah.
But
Am I right?
when I came back to it, the ending was kind of just really abrupt, and then it was over. So I was like, oh. All right, well, next
but
movie.
you know what? I think that kind of spoke to the... It's not going to be a happy ending. There's not going to be a good resolution. This is just nasty mafia, real life. People are just getting killed, and it's just a nasty, crappy life. The end.
Adam, do you watch this one?
No, full Rob.
Okay, full Rob
Full
on this
Rob.
one. And if you guys want to know what robbing a film is, or if you rob a film, that's at 1890studios.com. That's glossary.
It's in the book.
But
Is it
yeah,
Is it in the book?
available for pre-order, not out yet.
Okay.
Can't find a publisher.
But yeah, unfortunately, I did full Rob this one. I apologize to everybody out there.
Okay.
Looking at the trailer, listening to you guys talking about it, I really wish I watched it. Italy's part of my roots. But it seems like very Southern Italian, which is not.
Oh,
Southern Italian, Northern Italian. They got some beef.
okay,
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I could tell just by looking at these guys, all Southern Italians.
right.
So
Okay.
I don't know if we had a lot in common. But
what you're hearing, what we're talking about, Papa Steve.
Well, I'm
Papa
still
Steve,
confused.
he picked the docket and he watched this one all the
so
way through.
walk me through it. So it's a documentary.
Okay,
Right.
hand it to Papa Steve.
So
here.
there's these 5 different, call them storylines,
Okay.
and how these people, they do intermesh at the end. There's the mafia. There's these kids trying to get into it. They're going to be their own family, air quotes.
So they're like an up-and-coming mob.
There's 2 different competing mobs.
Also, this isn't a documentary. This is a actual drama film.
Correct.
But it's made to look like they're following these.
Oh, so it's like a fake. It's like a mockumentary.
Mockumentary.
No.
well, it's not a
no.
mockumentary. It's a film.
with a documentary style.
It kind of has those kind of shots. There's no music
But
Right.
these are actors.
or very little music.
They are actors.
You see Crash?
Crash.
The U.S. Crash, where like all those storylines were coming to the end. It was like
Yes.
yeah. So it's kind of like that, but with mob. So it's like Crash meets Romeo and Juliet.
Crash Italian mob. Got it.
Crash meets Romeo and Juliet.
The
Set in
economy went
Italy.
arrivederci.
It was like real life underbelly of real life mob. It's not glorious. There's nothing romantic about it. It's not a Godfather, the family,
Right.
for honor, for all that stuff. It's just power and money and killing people.
That sounds pretty cool, though.
It
sounds pretty cool.
It was very gritty.
Yeah. It had the weight behind it. I knew each character had like quite a storyline, and like every story was intense, but as I watched it, it felt like everything was really drawn out. I don't know, did you get that?
It was
Dad,
really
or no?
drawn out, and the thing that I kind of struggled with, and I don't know if it had to do with the fact that it was dubbed, that I wasn't getting maybe the full effect, because I wasn't getting the whole English part.
So it sounds really good, but you're saying the dubbed and the
it could've-
drawn outness is
it
kind
And
of.
there was a lot of storylines going on, and you kind of had to go, okay, now wait a minute, now is this part of this, and now what is he doing there?
Right.
I was a lot of.
Was that Rico or is that the Don? Or a lot of.
I
that,
wasn't
or-
sure what was exactly going on with the whole thing.
I think you lost a little bit of feel in the translation because a lot of the characters were talking about like how it was affecting them, and like they were speaking real emotionally about how it affected them and their parents and their livelihood and their day to day and stuff like that. But in Italian, you're losing visual stimulation and trying to read it.
And there would be a whole scene of dialogue with 17 words of text. So you know you were missing something.
Right, exactly. So what am I missing out by
You were
what?
missing probably some of the emotion and the guts that was going into it.
Right, okay.
So, sorry, Patrick, go ahead.
I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but Italian feels like it's a very visual language where
You are correct.
It's an
Yeah.
emotion,
There's lots
emotional
of hand
language?
gestures.
Yeah, so when you have to look down to read the subs and you're coming back up and somebody's like, "Wah," you can't really.
On the live feed, you saw Patrick's hands raise up. Yeah, okay. No, Adam, what were you going to say?
Well, no, Patrick, you're absolutely right. Italians got a lot of hand gestures.
Absolutely.
This mean if you take both
That's
hands,
a
make
pot of dawn.
people go like this. It's like, why you're breaking my balls? That's kind of what that means. And by looking at your notes here, producer Harvey Weinstein's company has acquired the right to develop the film story into a possible series for American TV.
I don't think he has a company anymore.
Well,
He
I
has
mean,
been
well,
booted from his
as
company.
long
got-
as all the women on the show hopefully don't have to go through some hardships to get on the TV series, this sounds like it would be a pretty good TV series based on what you're telling me, kind of documentary style in English.
But
Or
the thing, so this movie was from 2008. They've already had, I think, 3 or 4 seasons produced of Gomorrah, the TV
The show.
Yeah.
No
So
kidding.
when I was searching for this movie, that was the thing that popped up first.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh man, we're getting into a TV show? Pretty cool. But then I saw the 2:15. Oh, jeez.
so it already
The
is a
runtime.
TV show.
Yeah, with 4 seasons under its belt. Probably not going to get a
4
fifth.
seasons or 4 shows?
Seasons. 3 or 4 seasons. I can't remember exactly, but I know it's critically acclaimed because it got, I think, an 8.0 on IMDb versus
The show did.
the show did, correct?
No kidding.
Because that's when I was in the formal chat that we have
Right.
going back and forth. I was like, oh, what do,
I mean, that makes sense
8.0,
because
You would have to seriously focus on certain stories because this movie was all over the place.
Right. And it's a very broad film. I think that's why it had to be so long, is because it
Right.
dove so deep into
So many
these.
stories, and for it to all come together, you just needed that kind of time.
right.
So, yeah.
Based on what you guys are telling me, though, that's probably why the TV show sounds a lot better. It's kind of a more. There's a lot of depth.
Bite-sized chunks.
Yeah.
Right. All right, well, tell you what. Let's take one step back. Adam robbed it. I did a 50% rob. Patrick, how much did you watch this one?
probably 95% of it.
Okay, so
You did a
almost-
5% Rob.
Now, Papa Steve, as a docket master, you did watch it all. Can you sell it to me or sell it to the right person? We're going to touch on rewatch and recommendability here. In fact, tell you what, rewatch and recommend this one. Is it who needs to watch it and why, or dodge it and why?
I don't think I'd watch it. I think I'd watch the series before I'd watch the movie again.
Go in on that. Why watch it or why not?
Because it was too much.
Okay.
There was too many things going on. There were too many stories. And maybe because of the language barrier, you couldn't really get everything together. It was too much for one movie, in my opinion. It
Right.
wasn't a nice flowing
Sure. Yeah, I think
script.
if you cut it up into episode chunks, focused on character by character, it'd be easier to digest
Perfect.
than a
Yep.
137-minute movie that I think in a lot of different ways kind of dragged and pulled your brain in different locations.
Yep. It needed to be edited heavily.
Okay, so we're going to rewatch and recommend. You're not going to rewatch, but do you recommend or go right to the show?
I think I'd go right to the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick, 95% watch, rewatch, recommend.
I'd say no to the rewatch, no to the recommend, no
Okay.
to the show. Just watch Sopranos.
Okay.
I
So
think
you
that'd
No,
be
but
much
see, that
better.
misses the point. The Sopranos is, it's romantic, and you kind of got the good guys and the bad guys, and sometimes you're kind of rooting for the bad guys. This thing, everybody was a bad guy. It was just
the tales of the bad guys.
It was just rotten. Everybody was just rotten and nasty, and you just stuck in these awful places, and there was never, even at the ending, I'm not going to give it away, it's not
pleasant.
No, it's just
Yeah.
bad.
Well, that's why I would recommend The Sopranos, because when you get done with this movie, you're not going to feel rotten inside.
Right.
At least when you
Right.
get done with The Sopranos, you're like,
Sopranos was a
that
gar-
had its ups and downs.
Right,
It's a
okay.
but
I see what you're
garbage
saying.
television
I
I see
show.
what you're
downer.
saying.
I didn't like Sopranos. I didn't think it was that good. But either way,
I
doesn't
didn't
matter.
like Sopranos either.
All right, good. Adam, looking at you, 0 viewing of this one. What we're saying, rewatch, recommend. Is it there? Are you intrigued? Are you turned off by this
No,
one?
I'm kind of turned off. It sounds like more of a TV show kind of vibe. So
Okay.
if I want to get into this, I'll probably watch a TV show.
So you're gonna watch the Gomorrah, the television, like the episode by episode show.
If I have to.
Sure.
If you're going to force me to.
Okay.
But it's your family.
Right.
Me
It's a
fuck me.
familia.
It's Southern Italian.
Okay, all right.
know.
I take it back.
All right. Well, let's send it down to Papa Steve for the drink review. Man, bring us our Liquor Isle.
Well, you know what? I chose grappa.
Grappa.
I chose grappa for this. Grappa is a nice Italian liquor, anywhere from 37 to 60% alcohol. It's what is they distill what's left over from winemaking, all the skins, all the nastiness. They distill it and they make booze out of it.
Oh, man.
That
Too much grappa, you're not going to be able to walk.
Exactly. That's what I thought would be a good drink.
Okay.
That would match what this movie was. It was nasty and gritty.
I like it. Patrick, bring us down Liquor Store Isle, man. What do you think for this one, Gomorrah?
This was like mixing half a bottle of NyQuil and half a bottle of red wine because the movie wasn't good. It put me to sleep at parts, and I had to throw some alcohol into it, so I just put red wine in it.
Okay. All right. Adam, am I bypassing you for the drink review on this one?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
All right. I'll switch to a martini brand.
Which is actually an Italian drink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Martini, the brand, make a. It's not champagne. It'd be a sparkling wine because it's not a champagne unless it's made in France. So it's a sparkling wine, and I like sparkling wine. Like originally, like I'll take some, champagne. Go ahead, pour me a little bit. But like after a while, it's like I don't like champagne this much.
But the words Lil Wayne, I don't drink champagne. Made my tummy hurt.
All right, there you go. So it's like, okay, well, this sounds cool. Italian mob for sure. Like, I'm fully on board. So pour me
some of the best mobs are Italian.
Exactly. So pour me a glass of the champagne or the sparkling wine. But after a while, you're like, I don't like sparkling wine. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. So that's kind of where I'm at.
It wasn't a stereotypical mob movie.
Oh no, it wasn't not a Godfather documentary. Exactly. But either way, that's what we think about this one. And the next one up is The Double. So let's go ahead and roll the trailer. Double's 5.9 IMDb. This is an action crime drama. Patrick, Wheelhouse, 98 minutes.
Oh, I couldn't be more grateful.
Nice work, Papa
Especially
Steve.
after
Thank you.
gonorrhea.
Yeah, that was a long one.
A long case of gonorrhea.
Let's go ahead and watch the trailer.
That's a ziggurat.
Getting with the ziggurats.
Guy just got off.
Image entertainment. Imagination.
Martin Sheen, Richard Gere.
Paul, I think you're wrong.
As you know, Paul was responsible for tracking down Soviet assassins we codenamed the Cassius 7.
And you caught them all but one. Missed Cassius himself.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
It's not his work.
Oh, I think it is.
This is Agent Ben Geary. Probably knows
Ben
more
Geary,
about your assassin than
who
anyone
is
who's got-
what's his name? That 70s show?
Topher Graves.
Topher Graves.
Then prove it. I read that you worked with Cassius. Did he train you?
And 310 to Yuma.
That red line right there indicates where his killing became erratic and inexplicable.
I want to know him. I want to understand him.
You need to drop this investigation. You got a wife, you have 2 kids. Cassius doesn't care who he has to eliminate.
Who are you?
A little bit of it. Oh, what a reveal. Well, that reveal does happen early.
It does.
We'll talk about that later on.
With a creature he thinks he understands, but he doesn't. He's getting very close to a dangerous man. He will kill your husband. He will kill your husband. His fingers.
Which is bad, right?
Let me talk to her! Go back to the car and shut up!
Wow, Richard Gere.
Gere.
He's Gere.
Gear.
Greer? Gear?
Gear.
Gertrude.
Topher Grace, Stephen Moore, Richard
You've been looking for
Gere.
Cassius a long time, haven't you?
Or Greer. I've heard it both ways.
Greer and Greer.
It would seem so.
The double. This time, you're the endangered species.
Dude, that's a double. 2011 film. A retired CIA operative is. Let me start that over. A retired CIA operative is paired with a young FBI agent to unravel the mystery of a senator's murder, with all the signs pointing to a Soviet assassin. Papa Steve, before we dive deep into this one, why did you pick this one for the docket? Any special reason, or just a flip of the Russian coin?
Well, to be honest,
A flip of the Russian coin.
I wanted to do another one, the double.
Are you watching a different double?
I know the one he's talking about because that's the one I thought we were watching with what's his face from Facebook movie.
Yes.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Available on DVD only.
Well, it was recently.
What's that movie about?
So that
It looks freaking awesome.
Well, hang on a second. Wait, what did you watch this one?
I watched the one that we're going to be talking about now, but
Okay.
originally I had chosen the other one.
Oh, I see.
But this was the one that was on.
So you're like, oh, let's go with this double.
This was right.
Nice.
This was the one that was on Netflix. So I went, well, okay, we'll just do this one.
I see.
As one docket master to another, never admit your errors.
Well,
You intended everything.
Yeah,
because I don't want to take the blame for this
Yeah,
movie.
No, you said I wanted to watch this. I wanted to watch Richard
okay,
Gere.
I wanted to watch
And you better
Richard
deal
Gere.
with it.
yeah.
I am the docket master. Bow before me.
Yeah, you need to take ownership of
Where
this
is
one.
Garrett with the early times?
Wow. Okay. All right. So there's really no. This was a backup movie for you. There's no real reason to choose it.
Yes.
This was like I guess the other double's gone, so this is the one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to Patrick then. Patrick.
But it's funny because I was going to suggest the double when I got to do the docket,
Okay.
but then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do this one. I found
We know what you did with
A
the
much-
docket
much
last
better.
Yeah, but at this time I had already made like 3 changes. I went, well, let's just go with this one.
But that being said,
Let's be honest.
I'm glad we went with this double instead of the other one.
Really?
Yeah, I saw the other one. Didn't like it nearly as much as I liked this one.
Really?
So, Papa Steve,
So, okay,
Nice
so yeah,
work.
I really meant to do this one then.
there you go. Is that the docket police?
No, that's the sign you won. That's the winning.
That's the winning docket.
That's the winning
sound.
police?
You win.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, Patrick.
Well, you don't have to like it, Patrick. Try
All right.
winning. I'll give you something else.
All right, Patrick.
You want to be the speaker master as well as the docker master?
No.
All right. So the double, Patrick. Now you watch both doubles.
Correct.
And this is the double we're watching with Richard Gere. And you said it's better than Jesse Eisenberg?
Jesse Eisenberg, Facebook movie. Then what was the Magic movie? Not 20.
Zombieland, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was in
Burt
Zombieland.
Wonderstone?
No, the other one with Catch Me. No, not Catch
Prestige.
Me. If You Can. No, a better. No, worse than Prestige.
Batman Begins.
Batman. No, almost. We're getting close.
No.
Chris Angel.
Now you see me.
Nice.
No, now you
Now
see
you don't.
No.
Let's
I
No,
think
he is in
let's
that
stop
movie, though.
talking.
this
Now you
bit's
see it.
gone on long enough.
But either way, so you like this one. Tell me why.
So I like this one because I thought it was this is one of those easy actions that we're always talking about. Like you just sit back, you could tune in at any point during this movie.
Love
All
these.
right.
Is that on the
Okay.
glossary at
It's in the
1892s.com?
glossary.
Easy action.
Easy action. All right, put it on the glossary. But why is it easy action?
It's easy action because you could tune in, and if you tune in after the 30-minute mark, you're gonna be like, "Oh, what's going on? Who's who?" And you're gonna try and figure out who the double is. But if you watch it from the beginning, they kind of
Bingo.
bust open the lead.
Well, I
a
mean,
little early.
we just watched the trailer, and non-spoiler alert, Richard Gere is the double.
Or
So-
is he?
Or is he?
Or
Dun,
is
dun,
he?
dun.
Yes, exactly. So, like, that's what the movie wants you to think. As Patrick said, if you miss the beginning, you kind of like you're watching the movie as Richard Gere being the double, but what really is the how does it really play off? I mean, Adam, do you watch this one? Do you rob this one?
I watched this one.
What did you think, man?
Yeah, no Rob. Oh, I've seen it twice. This is the second time I've seen it.
Oh, okay, double watch.
First time I watched it was a long time ago.
2011, maybe?
Maybe right around there. I went through a phase where I only watched spy movies. Like, I'm going to watch every spy movie that exists.
Okay.
So that was a good
That's
phase.
a good phase. I want to get into that phase.
It was a good phase of my life.
Good phase.
Yeah, only gone downhill since then.
Good.
But,
well, yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, no, it was good. It was, the first time I watched it, I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Second time I watched it, I hate it.
And this was the most latest time you've watched it.
Which was yesterday.
Yeah.
I did not like it the second time.
Really?
I feel like it's I got a new term for the
glossary?
The glossary. Goethe, you want to take a note?
Yeah, we'll send her an email.
Yes, I'll take a note.
Goethe, take a note.
Well, she left at 5:30. She's gone.
Bring me some more early.
Will someone else take a note? Patrick, you can take
All
a
right,
note?
Patrick, send her an email. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna coin a new phrase. I'm gonna call movies that they're trailer teases.
Okay.
It's like we're gonna get you in, we're gonna lure you in with some good actors, a good concept, and we're gonna not execute on any of it. It's a trailer tease. Trailer tease film.
Well, I mean, you're right, man. Richard Gere. It's got Topher Grace. It's got Martin Sheen.
Oh yeah,
the tease is great.
Track down CIA. Got to track down a Russian assassin. Okay.
Intrigue.
Yeah. Okay. But then, like, they open up so many possibilities, and then they take the worst, like the lamest angle at them all. Like, you could have made it so much better. There's so much potential there, and I just felt myself like disappointed. Like,
right?
Why couldn't you make a better movie?
Yeah.
It was sort of like, I'm going to take a good spy movie and make it like edited for TV.
No.
I'm going to sort of chop out all the
watered down
the guts of it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Watered down. It's
Yeah.
a little thin. It's just a little.
Yeah, I'm on board.
It
with
has
that one.
like all the ingredients, but
their concept was too good for the movie level they were trying to attain. It's like you were going for an Olympus Has Fallen kind of feel, but you
went for an easy
you had a
act.
Tinker Tailor Soldier type of
Yes,
premise.
yes,
you know what I
yes.
mean. So like they didn't square the gap.
Dude,
right.
that's a dynamite description. You went in with a vac act,
These guys.
and you came in with a Tinker Tailor. Like,
Yeah.
you had the brains behind it, but you didn't have the action.
So I'm not in the easy action vac mode.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like okay, I could stay over here, but you try to pull me this way.
Yeah,
and now I'm landing.
You're
now I'm
thinking too hard.
Now I'm in
I
movie-
wanted to make this really great dish, but it had all these ingredients, and I didn't really have it, so I just put in a little bit of salt and pepper.
Now I'm in movie.
and-
Now I'm in movie limbo. That's the worst place to be.
Exactly.
and
It's
it
a
kinda-
dangerous.
It
dangerous.
tastes okay, but it really wasn't. It doesn't. What I made doesn't look like what it looked like in the cookbook.
Exactly. No,
Patrick.
that's right. Pat, you got a rebuttal for this one? You gonna
Tell me.
Do you want to fight this one, or are you on board?
No, because how long is Tinker Tailor?
7 hours, I think.
There you go. 7
Tinker
hours.
Tailor is a freaking awesome movie.
I'm not arguing that. I don't want to get into
you
that.
watch
Well,
it like
good,
10
because
times
you would lose
and you
that.
enjoy it every time.
What I'm saying is this one's 90-ish minutes. And
Wait,
so
I'd say about 98.
98-ish minutes.
If I were the, the
Note
host.
master.
Right.
The docket master.
But I'm just saying, for what they crammed in to that beautiful 98-minute wheel, it's everything you want it to be, and it has the suspense to keep you in it, and it also has the action to keep you like, well, I didn't see that coming.
We're gonna have a fist fight afterwards.
Well, you know what?
Please
I'm
no.
gonna,
Please no.
I'm gonna.
I
side
got beat down in the pre-show fist fight. I can't do a post-show fist fight.
Tell you what, I'm gonna side with Patrick on this one. I mean, this was something that I loved the idea of, so I was like on board. I was sold. So get me in there, I'll watch it. Blah blah. The reveal for Richard Gere is, right off the bat, as the trailer showed. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It did drag for a little bit of it, so that was kind of slow. But I really did think this hit some good vac act, as Adam mentioned earlier, some vac act style filmmaking.
Are you talking vac act or easy?
No, it wasn't easy action, but it's vac act.
How do you think it wasn't easy action?
Well, after 20 minutes, you knew. Well, can I blow this one? I mean, the trailer showed
blow
it.
It's on the trailer.
Trailer showed it. Richard Gere is revealed as the double agent from Russia, and that
Which they don't explain.
no, not at all how he got there.
That's my whole bugaboo.
There's a big.
And I did say bugaboo. Yes, I'm sorry.
No.
Is that Italian?
You know what? I'll allow
That's a
it.
bugaboo.
Okay.
That's what we call the boogeyman.
I'll allow it because that is in there, and that sets a different tone for this movie. But it does show you kind of both sides of, who's on what side, and did they know that Richard Gere was here or where or whatever. So it kept me in there. Like if I'm vacuuming, I'll keep an eye on the TV, regardless of what I'm missing in the audio. But
that being said, I mean, there was another twist at the end.
Well,
which was I thought quality was like that. Oh, okay, that woke me up and went, oh, that's cool. Roll credits. The end.
Well,
okay,
and that's why it's
sucked.
like that's why it's worth vacuuming during. Once you're done vacuuming and you're watching the very end, you're glad you stuck around and kept vacuuming.
You guys do a lot of vacuuming,
dude. The house is so clean.
I have a Roomba.
Oh, okay.
A Roomba act?
No wonder.
Well, the Roomba goes. When I say vac act, I mean I push clean on the Roomba button, and then it just goes, and I'm watching it, and Roomba's like, this movie sucks. And I'm like, I don't know. And then...
Shut up, Roomba.
Shut up, Roomba. Stop talking. When did you develop artificial intelligence? Keep working.
Back to work.
Keep sucking.
Yeah. But no, you guys sound like 2011 Adam, which is a good Adam to be.
No,
like
one of my favorite Adams of all the Adams. 2011 Adam was one of my favorites.
That's a good Adam. Let's be honest.
Mine too. Like the first time you watch it, you kind of it's all new. It's good. Oh my god, twist.
Yeah.
Oh my god, twist.
Double twist. Double twist. Yeah.
Twist it. Bop it. All that good stuff.
You're
feeling good.
Yeah.
But I watched it the second time once you know everything that's going to happen. Sucks.
Oh, really?
There is no prestige rewatch. That's what I was excited about. I was like, oh, I get to watch it again with.
Oh, yeah.
None of that.
Well, you know what it was like for me. What I've said before in the podcast. What I want to do when I watch a movie is I want to feel something.
Sure.
Make me feel afraid. Make me feel happy. Make
Right.
me feel nervous.
Panicked,
make me
yeah.
feel something. I didn't feel anything on this. It was just like a watered down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can agree. And you know what I think? And maybe I'm going to catch some heat here. Maybe. Topher Grace, that 70s show. Dad, you didn't watch that 70s show.
No. I lived the 70s. I didn't have to watch the show.
Topher Grace, I don't think he was the right actor for this role.
I wrote that. I wrote him and Richard Gere, not the right actors.
That's because our minds are connected.
Telepathically.
But Topher Grace...
You're the double.
Maybe I am the double. But, like, Topher Grace is, like, he did a great job. Like, the dude's a rock star. Okay.
But they still had to throw in some comedy lines because it's Topher Grace. Which even though it didn't work.
Hey, like,
it's like
2011, I don't know when that 70s show ended, but I don't know. It's like you got to pull him out of, like, the gutter a little bit and put him into movies. Either way, is like he, like, was not placed correctly, and his character was kind of funny.
It reminded me of Mitch Trubisky on the Bears because, like, he's got talent, but you're trying to pigeonhole him and you're not letting him run free and be himself. Like, we're still got to throw some comedy in there so everyone, it's Topher Grace, so you get what you like. But he was totally capable of doing a role more serious, more powerful.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we can't let you off the leash yet.
Yeah.
It's like they're kind of just holding them back.
I mean, it's like a Jim Carrey, like Jim Carrey is supposed to be funny. You're going to put him in Bad Batch? Like, really? I don't know. That's like, I don't know.
And, maybe that was my whole thing with this thing is I just didn't feel the weight. I didn't feel the meat. It was just sort of fluffy.
And there's not enough action for easy action at all.
Yeah, you're right.
And it wasn't psychologically enough.
It was bland on all fronts.
What's going on?
It was kind of just bland. It was like,
right.
First of all, we knew what was going on with Richard Gere,
which was cool. Okay, that's cool. Richard Gere is this,
and he's pretty much BA. Let's be honest,
for sure.
So the whole movie is about finding this assassin, Cassius.
And we can talk about watches after this too, which we could bring into the cast.
That should go to the Watch podcast.
Hello,
rewatch, recommend, watchability,
drinks,
and okay.
Well, this is the. Not rewatchability, the actual watch.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Topher
Grace wears a Casio. It's an early model G-Shock, late model for the movie though. But the movie the watch that Richard Gere wears is like a like a prop watch.
Right.
In fact, I researched on 2 different websites that do like specific watches of movies, which I have saved as bookmarks. And I did the
you need medicine.
No, dude, this is great.
Early time medicine.
As a Rolex watch, as a Rolex wearer, I need to dive in and see what everybody's wearing. He wore just a prop watch. It was like a non-brand watch. Which, do they watch the trailer? Can we see?
Loser.
Can we see why I talk about the watch at all?
The watch is on there. The watch is on the trailer.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. The watch during the reveal.
Oh, okay. So Richard Gere wears a nondescript.
In fact, he said, I haven't worn this watch since I retired.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's something to point out. Nice work. That's a very Richard Gere voice.
Not really.
Gere.
Okay.
I keep calling him Gere. But either way.
It's a Richard Gere voice, but not a Richard
So
Gere
there's
voice.
there's a Casio that's in the movie, but there's a prop watch too.
Little known actor, Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
Is his name Gere or Greer?
Gere.
It's Gere.
G-E-R. Is it G-E-R-E?
G-E-R-E.
Good on him. All right, there we go.
G-E-R-E.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Pronounced Greer.
As we
I thought it was like Favre. Like, like Favre.
The G is silent.
Oh, he's French, obviously. All right, well, tell you what. Let's. Can we dip into rewatch and recommend? Or
I had one more thing to say.
All right, go ahead.
I found a plot hole in the movie.
Oh well, I got notes.
They do a
that.
flashback to Prague, or no, I think it was to Paris. But they had the European Union flag.
Oh,
like they try to show the embassy and do a flashback.
A little too early,
and turn the camera dark, and they're like, "Ooh, now it's the past." I'm like, but the European flag is still there, so it's obviously not the past.
Yeah,
in '88 or whatever. So I caught you
when the EU flag wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly.
Good catch. Nice work.
I wrote that in my notes. So I wanted to bring that up.
Attaboy.
I mean, yeah. And as Adam said, there's notes to go on here. A lot of watch notes I have here, but I'll digress. I think the acting was there. I really think even Topher Grace, somebody who I think, I think Topher Grace has potential to be a good actor, but everybody was there. Martin Sheen was there. The intensity was there, but
they were there, but they didn't show up.
It just
to
didn't
get my meaning.
Yeah, it didn't close. It didn't close for me.
Okay,
I don't know. Rewatch, recommend, Papa Steve as the docket master this week. Going to you.
Rewatch, no. Recommend, no. Are we talking about walking down the liquor store aisle yet, or are we going to go around the table
No, that's going to be on the next one. Let's send it to Patrick for rewatch and recommend.
I think I might rewatch this with a friend, and I definitely would recommend it as a easy action.
Okay. A little recommendation there. AP, what about you, brother?
No, I'm going to go no and no.
No and no. You watched this one in 2011, and you're still saying in 2017.
And I liked it in 2011.
Yeah.
So if you could go back to 2011, it'd be a good movie.
I think so.
Okay.
But you guys both watched it once through, and you liked it. So maybe, but now it's just, now I watch it, and it could have been so much better. And that's what drives me nuts.
No, you're right. And I'm going to go ahead with my rewatch and recommend, but I think it could be great. Like, you got the actors there. The story is really cool, but I just don't think this one deserves a recommendation.
So, like, we all know that Richard Gere is the double,
right?
And he was the assassin that they're all trying to find, and he was working for the CIA trying to catch himself.
He's an inside man.
Why was he a double?
Yeah.
To me that is the quintessential question of the movie, and that is.
But that makes it too deep for the movie's own sake. I think.
I think for
how are you going to think about that and vacuum at the same time?
I think about everything while I vacuum.
Oh.
Well, I sit there and watch Roomba. But
right. Well, yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't think that's too that's ridiculous. No. Like,
right?
Why you're the double? Why?
What was he doing?
That's a different movie.
Yeah. Why did he need to be that character?
But that's such a big question. You can't overlook that.
Right. Yeah.
But they did.
It was an empty side of it.
So therefore, you get to criticize on this podcast by me. So.
Right. No, it was like an empty. Yeah. Richard Gere's character was.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
Richard Gere's character was empty. So why do we care about him? Really? Well, let's bring it to the liquor store aisle if we could. Papa Steve, first one up. What do you got for the liquor store aisle?
Well, it's a spy movie, so everybody's going to say, hey, vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. But I was thinking, what is like a virgin martini? That's basically
Old
like a
granddad.
Water with olives.
A glass with olives and maybe a tiny bit of vermouth if you go that way, which I don't. So that's pretty much my drink. It'd just be a empty glass with some ice water and a couple olives.
Oof, that sounds terrible. Patrick, walk us down the liquor store aisle, my friend.
I got a double shot of Russian standard vodka because you got to take one shot at the beginning and then there's another twist at the end where you got to take another shot.
Russia. Adam, what about you, brother?
Yeah, you kind of called everybody out. Someone's like, hey, you want a vodka martini? Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. You're at a Russian restaurant. They're giving you a vodka martini. It's looking really good. And they bring it out, they start pouring the vodka, and it's Skol on the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
That sucks.
Yeah, and and my drink review's on board with that. It's like, you're at a bar, you're having, fun with your friends, and like, yeah, I love a spy movie. I love these type of movies. Like, all right, let's watch this one. All right, bartender, go ahead and make me a drink. Like, my trust is in your hands. But, like, they make a garbage drink.
Trailer tease.
And, like, they're like, dude, like, come on.
Trailer tease.
You had all the ingredients to make a great drink, but you never did. Why? Like, Martin Sheen's in this movie.
Screw you, Dan. That's why.
And not the English Martin Sheen. Like, come on. Either way, doesn't matter. And it was crazy. Martin Sheen he's looking at the White House twice, both with his role in The West Wing and in this one. Let us know.
And in American President.
Oh, you're
He's
right.
Chief of Staff.
Okay. He's on 1600 Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania Avenue.
Okay.
Great actor for that address.
So anyway, my drink review is like you had all the ingredients, but you kind of screwed it up. So thank you, Richard Gere or Greer, regardless.
Both of you suck.
Either one of you.
Yeah, I'm not a Gear fan.
I don't know, dude. Julie, I pulled this on. She's like, "Oh, you're watching this?" She's a Gere fan.
Oh, Richard Gere.
Yeah, she's kind of got all flustered. I'm like, oh.
He's just Keanu Reeves 20 years in the future.
Okay.
Everyone's looking at me like, "Oh, it's great."
No, I was just kind of processing that and went, "Okay, that works."
I'm putting it together. Who, what, where?
Catch you later.
No. Let's go on to our last one.
All right.
Well,
don't you dare.
That's Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Stop the podcast. We need to address this.
All right, guys. Before we start punching
whatever,
Papa
same thing.
Oh, wow. The boy in striped
His
pajamas.
dog bites.
I got a dog to find. My dog don't bite. The boy in striped pajamas. This is
a funny nose.
This is
that's somebody else.
This is a 2008 film,
Blasphemy.
guys. 7.8 IMDb. The boy in striped pajamas. Can we watch the trailer for goodness sake? Thank you.
Trailer rolling.
Miramax Films.
Miramax Films.
I know it's hard, but we're all having to say goodbye to our friends for the time being.
Moving? Where to?
The thing about being a soldier is that if your
We're
country
British
needs you to go
Germans.
somewhere,
Why
you go.
do all the people have British accents?
We're gonna dip into that.
Thank you.
Come on, people.
Our new home.
I'm home. I'm a Nazi.
I knew how.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Hello, Heil Hitler.
Hello.
Hello.
How old are you? 8. Me too.
Hello, I'm Polish.
Why do you wear pajamas all day? The soldiers. They took all our clothes away. My dad's a soldier, but not the sort that takes people's clothes away. That one there, 2 there. This one. No, that one.
They're playing checkers.
No.
Behind barbed wire.
From
It's
Miramax
Films.
Films.
They're the enemy. The enemy?
All you need to know about my work here, Bruno, is that it's very important to our country.
If I ever have another kid, I'm naming him Bruno.
That's a good name.
is doing here. It's history in the making.
I can eat.
If I had a little brother, that'd be strange right about now.
Is everything all right? We can't find Papa.
I think it'd be strange for you.
About the
I'm
Soldiers
fight war.
That isn't war!
It's a vital part of it.
And
We're
the
not supposed to
home
be
that
friends,
unites
so
us.
we're meant to be enemies. Dad's a good man.
Of course he is.
Of course. Yes, Papa. He's a good English German.
Striped.
The boy in the striped pajamas. There we go, everybody.
Okay.
There we go. Papa Steve, you put it on the docket, man. What is it, like 2 strange German films in a row? Per week we watched. Look Who's Back.
A lot of Hitler vibes.
Yeah, a lot of Hitler vibes. Why did you go with this one as the docket master this week?
Well, German is my native tongue.
Well, ich habe keine Beine.
There you go. So, no, I knew that it had good ratings. I wanted to have a good movie for you guys and for all of our listeners.
Sure. Well, 7.8 IMDb. That's a solid IMDb rating for sure.
Hour 34 minutes, so 94 minutes. It's what do you think about the Wheelhouse?
Yeah, that's Wheelhouse.
So I knew it was right in there.
You were really trying to hit Patrick hard with this one.
I was trying to hit Patrick hard. I know
if
that
Patrick's happy, we got a good podcast.
Adam is a history buff, so kind of check his box.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice work, man.
I'm glad you put it on there because I've kind of avoided this movie just because I knew it was really good, but it's kind of it's a Holocaust movie, so that's
what else can you do, right?
It's a little depressing, but it's on the docket, so I got to watch it. I was like, okay, good. Now I have an excuse to kind of
Sure.
when I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, I've been pushing this movie off, and
time to tune in.
Time to face up, and
buckle up,
man up.
Right.
Yep.
Papa Steve. Set during World War II, a story seen through an innocent eyes of Bruno, the 8-year-old son of a commandant at a German concentration camp, whose forbidden friendship with a Jewish boy on the other side of the camp fence has startling and unexpected consequences. What did you think of this one? Was it all you saw in the description? Was it, did you get rocked by it, or what do you think?
It was really interesting. I like the way that the characters developed, and I know that's a big thing for you.
For sure.
You saw some character development, obviously, with the little boy. There's his sister, which doesn't really come into play a ton, but you see her really changing.
It's impactful on its own account.
I love your confidence on your docket pick on this one.
And as Adam said last week, you got to be confident with your docket picks. Like you told Patrick, once you pick it, you got to be behind it.
Got to go with it.
Yeah.
So
the wife, the mom,
yes.
She went through a transition on this thing, which was really moving.
Right.
The dad actually, at the end, of course, he sort of saw some things that maybe he didn't see and feel before, so that was pretty powerful.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be shot through the eyes of this, 8 years old or something like that.
Right.
So it wasn't a war film, air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
It was, looking at what would this look like through the eyes of a boy. So I thought that would be an interesting thing to look at.
It definitely was for me. Patrick, what do you think about this one, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
Yeah, I like the way that they came about it with trying to show it through Bruno's eyes. But I really didn't like the way that some of the characters acted within the movie, because I know it's a Nazi film, so you can't really sympathize with a Nazi. But
right.
Watching it with Bruno, I was like, oh, this kind of sucks for this kid, because he doesn't really know what's going on the other side of this fence.
It definitely rocks the film, and set through the eyes of an 8-year-old who doesn't understand the...
It's not a stereotypical World War II Holocaust film.
I mean, as you're watching this film from the eyes of an 8-year-old who's influenced by the Nazi way of life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's crazy.
I don't think he was so much as influenced by it as his sister was, because you really see a huge pivot for her.
That's very interesting.
The mom sees a huge pivot, but this boy, he just wants to go around and check the world out.
Right.
And then,
his view of the world is, blanketed by the Nazi view. So Well, I mean, like, it definitely affects how he interacts with his friend on the other side of the fence, which the fence is within a concentration camp. So, like, it's not, like, he's not, that character, as you're saying, the 8-year-old is not viewing it from a Nazi perspective, but he's viewing it as how his family thinks is, right and correct.
No, I wouldn't think. I didn't get that from him. He just seemed like an 8-year-old that wanted to go and adventure around his confines. Like he was kind of stuck within this house outside of a concentration camp, but he found a way out of it, so he starts exploring there. Then he gets over to like the actual fence and he starts talking to this little boy that's over there. But he never really picks up on what's happening there until like the very end, and then once he's like kind of starts piecing it together.
And even then, I don't know if he didn't put it together.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do a spoiler, but that's the whole ending of the film. He still is not putting 2 + 2.
Well, I think that's what's so interesting. It's like the story is told from a non-biased
Very
perspective.
innocent.
Right, an innocent perspective. And we see it from, especially how this movie puts, from a Nazi perspective. So, we watch this boy innocently doing what he does, and it rattles me.
Yeah, definitely.
Consistently.
Definitely. Like, because when I finished this movie, I was like, what? Because this was the last movie I watched before I went to bed last night, and I was like, this is going to be really tough to go to sleep after watching this movie, because
it's packed, man.
Yeah,
it's got
a lot of emotion with it.
A lot of emotion.
It's pretty wild. Adam, did you watch this one, or did you rob it?
No, Adam did.
You did watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, you Adam'd it.
Yes.
Is that going to be new in the glossary?
You Adam'd it?
Gerta, take a note.
Gerta.
She's not here. It's me taking the notes.
Just send her an
calling.
email, for goodness sake. Could she read email?
I don't know if she knows how to work email.
Yeah, it's either way. I really like her around the office. Her old man was in the French Foreign Legion.
I know that.
Okay, good. Adam, what do you...
Strong hips.
Yeah.
Gerta's French?
She's German. East German.
Oh, I thought her husband was French.
Well, he's in the French Foreign Legion.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Husband or father?
Her husband.
Husband, French.
She's in the French.
Father.
He's in the French Foreign Legion. She used to throw the hammer for the East German Olympics.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. No,
she's got those hips, though. We all know.
I get a little sad.
We all know about her.
She can take it. I mean, 2 out of 3 falls. I'm not going to lie.
Right. Yeah.
We love you, Gerta. If you're listening,
holler at you. AP, looking at you, boy in the striped pajamas. What do you think about this one, man?
I'm conflicted.
Well, I know. I mean, it's told from a little boy's perspective. It's got a heavy narrative from the Nazi sense, but it's trying to tell a story.
There's lots of things I liked, lots of things I didn't like.
Talk to me.
So it's like it says, told from his perspective, which I kind of like at times, but it kind of drives me nuts at times.
Right.
Because he can't figure it out, and he's very naive.
Sure.
And we all know what's going on, but he doesn't know what's going on, so it's kind of... It kind of drags and it kind of plays...
Tears you apart.
It kind of plays on that, like, oh, why is this happening? Like, you know why it's happening. Grow up, Bruno.
Well, let's take a quick stop right where we're at, and all the actors have British accents.
What the crap?
That drove me nuts.
Which, you know what? I would rather have British actors and some American actors have a British accent and, like, just do their normal accent than try to fake a British or a German accent. That would tear me apart if it was a crap German accent, right?
But you know what? I think maybe the fact that they all had British accents made it we're all the same.
That's exactly what I have in my notes. The British accent, since they all have it, it's acceptable to the story. Like, all right, they're all British. Let's move on. Let's get with the story. Let's forget about the accents. Let's move on with the story.
But I mean, even on a deeper level, it was like we're all the same people.
This could be the British.
We're all the same. As from the boy's point of view, I'm a little boy. You're my mom. You're my dad. You're a boy behind the barbed wire. Mm-hmm. It was just you're the prisoner. We're all just people here. The Britishness of it, I think, made it more other people.
But even going further into that, like the the family of the soldier and all the people associated with it were proper Germans or proper Nazis, and they spoke in a nicer tone of English. Beautiful.
Right.
Yes, Daddy, we want to study. Is our tutor coming today to study English? Yes, of course, yes. Fatherland, Heil Hitler, yes.
Right.
And then you look at the Jewish people who they portrayed as like, obviously being impressed and everything, but they had the Cockney accents.
Right.
You're like, oh yeah, thanks for coming to visit me. Hey, so they even try to play
little lower class.
They use the accents to emphasize the class in the movie,
but instead of German accents, they were British.
Right.
So they cut the British. They cut the British accents into classes.
Right.
And as if they were German.
Yeah.
Right.
But
But I don't think that.
But I really. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say that I don't think the British accents, after you got over it, after the first 6 minutes, once you knew they were German and they were speaking British accents,
yes,
I got over it.
You're right.
Right.
And I don't even. And Adam, you just mentioned that the young boy behind the fence in the concentration camp had a Cockney accent or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother me. Once I knew it was all British, boom, I'm done.
But I think the point was we're all the same.
Right. Well, I mean, set it aside.
I didn't think about that. That was a good point.
Like, set it aside. That's true. That's a good point. Pop Steve is
It's not the Podfather for nothing.
What exactly? Leave the accent alone. We're all the same. That's what makes the story diverse.
So, having said that, I did like the perspective of when the tutor came and they were teaching them, like, this is what Nazi kids learned. Because how do you know that? Like, we don't know. No one knows that in history. Like,
right.
What were the Nazis teaching their kids?
Right.
That's interesting. I think that's interesting.
It was a very interesting
and you can see how the girl changed
exactly
with that influence in her life. I wanted a little bit more of that. I thought that was very interesting. So there was a different perspective on how to tell the story, but yeah, it's just the little kid. I don't think you like the acting. I don't think I was not a fan of these children actors.
Well, theme wise, I think we're all on the same page. Movie wise, what do you think about as far as how the movie went?
I did like the movie. I liked the way that the father was portrayed because it didn't seem like he filled anybody in on what was going on. And as the movie starts to unfold, they get new information. They figure out what's going on. And it's like, they're not
not on board.
Par with whatever's going on. And you see like that quick pivot in the mother. And then the daughter kind of finds out and she's like, I think I'm okay with this. But the son, like, he never picked up on it. He's 8 years old. If I was 8 years old, I don't think I would have picked up on it as quick as Adam would have liked. But it's just, for what was happening and how the movie portrayed it, it was equally devastating as it was for me, as it was for the child, somewhat figuring out what was going on. And then in the ending, again, probably the heaviest ending I've ever watched.
The ending was...
Oh, dude. I didn't know that was coming either.
But, and I think that is probably my biggest gripe with the movie itself was, okay, it built, and then it was done.
Yeah.
I think I would have, because, and I'm not going to give anything away, who's wearing the mantle?
I don't know. You can if you want to.
No. I don't want it.
Okay.
But I would have liked a little bit more
story growth, or
I think the ending was too abrupt for me.
Yeah.
It built and then it was over. I think I would have liked a little bit more of that,
like an explanation, or a
little bit more of, holy crap, dude, no, don't do that, or what are you doing?
Right. To feel the breadth of the...
It was so abrupt, I didn't...
Yeah, feel the weight of how terrible the ending was.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't say it was
It was a great ending.
It wasn't terrible.
I would have liked a little bit more weight to...
the weight behind it.
To feeling behind it, because it was just so... It just built... It was like a crescendo
that ended halfway through.
It just was like
staccato.
It was just boom. It was done.
I don't know. This subject is tough, man.
Right.
No doubt.
Like,
I'm not talking theme wise or subject wise. I'm just talking movies, cinematic wise.
Right. Yeah. Writing wise. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, I can't help but think about it when I watch a movie like this. It's like pure evil, and you gotta see it. You gotta know that this happened.
You got to see the light end of it too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I said this last week on the podcast. Is I think Adam, myself, and Papa Steve were at Auschwitz, right?
Yes.
Dachau, but
or Dachau.
Yeah.
So we see
pretty freaking horrible.
We see the horrible end of this despicable, unending evil of what this was, and we're shown this film from an 8-year-old's perspective and his family and et cetera, and like what his father had to do, being in the German army and stuff like that. But there's an endless pool with no end of evil.
They just arrested a guard just recently, 90-something years old. They are not giving up.
Well, and it shouldn't.
They shouldn't. Yeah.
We watch this from an 8-year-old's perspective of how evil and terrible this was, and we put we kind of give the father credit because he served his country, and the emotion from the mother and like the reaction of the sister and how like she responds to like this whole thing, and like that gives okay, this is a 7.8 on IMDb, and it's like shot from the child's perspective and stuff like that. This is incredibly difficult to understand, watching it in it's shot in 2008, but now it's 2017, blah blah blah. But it's such a deep film, I think, like
emotionally,
yeah.
So
sure.
like emotionally, yeah, like. Because when I look at this 7.8, I'm not thinking it's a 7.8 because of writing. It's not a 7.8 because of the plot. I think it's a 7.8 because of how this
content
child dealt with everything, and then in the end dealt with it all. I think you really see an 8-year-old going like from point A to point B. Doesn't really figure it out at point B, but it kind of comes to fruition there.
Everybody else does.
Yeah. So at that point, you're like, oh, wow, that's
right,
feasible, and I'm really upset now. What do I need to watch to get back to a better place, or what to do just to get out of this?
Yeah, it's a great point. I felt exactly right. I think you're exactly right. Like, it's a high because of the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great cinematic feat, but it hits the right buttons. And, it leaves you devastated.
Exactly.
Yeah, it definitely rocks you.
Rewatch?
We've talked enough about what it is. Let's go into rewatch and recommend. Papa Steve, the docket master of the week. Rewatch, recommend, my friend.
I would recommend it for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I would rewatch it. Maybe I would. I wouldn't be high on my list.
For
just
sure.
Movie-wise.
Right.
I don't think I don't know if I would watch it again, but I would certainly recommend it for somebody that was certainly interested in history and stuff like that.
Right, in that whole genre.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, rewatch, recommend?
I don't think I would rewatch this, and I'm not going to recommend this to anybody because of the weight of it.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's not, I can't really think that it's historically accurate to really...
I'm sure it's not.
No,
right. So,
I mean, as far as the ending goes.
Not that I'm trying to, like, call you out or anything, but it doesn't feel like it would add any historical value to somebody that wants to study what happened.
Right.
To study what happened in World War II and what could have happened. I think it'd be more of, like, if you were trying to understand it from the opposite side. So, like, if I was a...
It brought a human aspect to it for sure.
But then again, I really don't like trying to sympathize with a 8-year-old Nazi child.
Yeah.
Seeing, but
is an 8-year-old a Nazi though?
Well, it's a whole other podcast.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't re-recommend or rewatch.
Okay.
Or recommend or re-recommend watch.
Well, wow.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. AP, looking at you, rewatch, recommend, man. What do you think?
Recommend. I'd probably say no. Rewatch, I'd say no.
Okay.
Rewatch. It reminded this, like you said, Papa Steve. It reminded me a lot of when we went to Germany and we went to Dachau. Everyone should do it once. But I am never going to want to do it again.
I'll never go back again.
I never want to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, after seeing it, like, you need to know what happens. You need to, this happened in humanity. You need to realize that. You need to understand it. You need to accept it. But you don't need, I don't want to
relive it.
I don't want to relive it because it just brings me down.
Yeah.
That's why I avoided this movie. It just brings me down.
Right.
That knowing that this happened and
Yeah.
like people like that was real, like that just hurts.
It's a terrifying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm on board. I'm on the same thing with you, Adam. I mean, it's an interesting tale. It's an interesting aspect of this terrible, terrible thing that happened. If you want to, hop in on it and kind of see how that looks from an 8-year-old's perspective, go ahead. But it really is, rewatch, recommend. You got to find that right person that really wants to dive deep into something like that to recommend it.
Exactly.
I don't know. But, Adam, I'm going to flip it back to you for the drink or recommendation if you can, man.
I couldn't think of a drink for this one.
It was tough for me, too. You got
tough.
anything or no? If no.
Juice box.
Okay. Yeah, something sugary and sweet because you're going to
yeah.
need something to pull you out of this one. Patrick, is there a drink recommendation for this one?
No, I couldn't think of anything. Like if you look at the notes, it's still blank. And I watched it last night, and I was thinking about it off and on today. What would I recommend for it? I really can't pair anything with this movie because there's nothing heavy enough that you can drink. Like even motor oil's too light.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
you can't even recommend a funny drink because
there's nothing joking about this. Papa Steve, can you bring us down Liquor Store Isle?
Well, you know what? I thought that if you made me pick something, I'd step up to the bar and have the bartender pour me 4 or 5 shots of the Four Horsemen shots, which are equal parts Johnny Walker Scotch, Jim Beam Bourbon, Jack Daniels, and Jose Cuervo.
Oh, wow.
You know how it's going to end.
That's terrifying.
You know how it's going to end.
Oof.
But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to plow through this, and the end is going to be awful.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm on the same board as you. I'm not a red wine fan, like a dry red wine. I just despise it. And so this movie is like, give me some red wine. It's like, it's just bad. It's just... Well, yeah, it's not that bad. No, it's that bad. It's pretty bad.
It's a true story. We went to a wine party. Went with Dale to a wine party a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, anybody have any whiskey?
I drank.
It was a wine and cheese party, and he's like sitting in the back corner sipping on some makers.
I put scotch in my wine glass. Just to get out.
Made
of
it look like a dirty white wine.
Yeah, it was so. I was like, dude, I can't have this.
What are you drinking, Dale?
Yeah, this is
some cheese.
A little bit of clam.
It's a nice 1946 from Kentucky.
Yeah, right. So anyway, that's where I'm at on this one. It's just, if in my personal opinion, it's just a dirty, gross thing I don't want to ever watch again.
There you go.
That's me. But I don't know. That's it. Let's, as Rob said, let's pick a movie of the week if we could. Patrick, looking at you, man.
Gonna go with The Double. It was pretty good. I highly recommend it.
The Double. Adam, what about you?
I'll probably go with The Pajamas.
Okay. Rocked it just right.
The best of the rest.
Okay. Papa Steve, the docket master, what's your movie of the week?
I think I'd have to go with The Pajamas as well. Double was a little bit too light. Gomorrah was way too long. Striped Pajamas was brutal, but it was a good movie.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm on board with you guys. I mean, I like The Double a lot, Patrick. I'm not going to fight you, man.
I don't know why you guys want to make our listeners relive.
I'm going to kick your ass right after
you
this
got
podcast.
2 Stellas in your hand. Both hands are full of Stella. Oh, you got 3 bottles of Stella in your hand. I'm not going to fight you too much, man, but Boy in the Striped Pajamas is pretty wild. But anyway, that's what we think. Guys, we are on Facebook. Adam is the Facebook master. He's kind of our social media wizard out there. We're the Netflix Explorers.
Hashtags, am I right?
Ho! Come and find us.
Ring.
Be our friend. We will accept you. We got our new podcast up there. We got, tell us what you want to see. Now, Papa Steve this week is the docket master. You guys out there could be the docket master if you guys choose our movies. So we're coming up on November. November means a certain set of films.
This one's in November.
Oh, yeah, we are in November now. So
it's November 8th.
Second week.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you guys
Real
want,
deep.
If you guys want to hear something,
November.
we'll watch it. Just put it up there. We're on Facebook, so check us out. Also, we're on iTunes. If you guys could download, subscribe, maybe 5 stars, maybe wouldn't be too bad. But also,
can you do 6 stars?
I don't think there is, but you
give
can
it a shot.
Email Mark Zuckerberg. He's on Apple's.
No, you're talking about
he never returns my calls.
I think he works for Apple now.
Zuckerberg?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe in November.
Either way, get on iTunes, subscribe. We'll show up in your, Wednesday morning. We'll just punch our way into your podcast list every morning. So, but also we're on Twitter. We're at TheNetX. That is at the NETEX. We'll be up there. But Patrick got some polls up there. It's kind of like, what do you like?
1890.
It's 1890studios.com. That's the 1890studios.com. He's got some polls up there. Should Papa Steve be the, podcast, docket master, or should Adam go back to his normal role? But either way, we're up there. We're all over the social media.
I'll arm wrestle you for it.
No, he's ready for a fight. So we appreciate you guys.
Tell me about it. Jeez.
Hey, Papa Steve.
What?
We appreciate.
He's about to box me afterwards. I didn't even bring my gear.
Oh, Papa Steve.
It's the post-podcast fist fight.
Yep.
Papa Steve, man, great being the docket master. So happy to have you on the podcast, man.
A lot of pressure, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I plowed through it, and thanks for inviting me back, guys.
Dude, great to have you. Patrick, looking at you, brother. Welcome back to the cast, and it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Good. AP, looking across at you every week, man. Good to have you.
Too. Yeah, anytime.
Good.
Love podcasting.
Awesome, guys. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys listening, and we're the Netflix Explorers saying so long, and of course, adios.
Arrivederci.
Un bambino. Bippity boppity.
Bippity boppity. You ate me pepperoni pizza. Now I'm going to shoot you on your face.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Un bambino.
I never liked you.
Arrivederci.
Padre.
Because you some of the bad cannoli. I never trusted you.
A Spiritu Sancto. Amen.